Australia, the UK and Canada have called on Israel to reverse its decision to approve of thousands of new settlement units in the West Bank. The three countries say continued expansion is an obstacle to peace and negatively impacts efforts to achieve a negotiated two-state solution.
Escalating tensions between Israeli settlers and Palestinians have sparked deadly violence and protest.
יהודים לא מוכנים להיות ברווזים במטווח. אנחנו פה במקום של הרצח, אנחנו מצפים מממשלת ישראל לתגובה ביטחונית קשה כנגד האויב, לא מוכנים עוד פעם לסבול, לא מוכנים לחכות לפיגוע הבא בשקט, די.
There's a lot of people who want to move here, and there is not enough housing.
Late last month, Israeli settlers ransacked Palestinian towns in retaliation for a Hamas attack that killed 4 Israelis. More unrest now over this week's decision by Israel's ruling religious nationalist coalition to approve more than 5,700 West Bank settlement units. According to the Israeli anti-settlement group Peace Now, it brings the total so far this year to more than 13,000. That's almost triple the number given the green light last year. The settlements are considered illegal under international law by many countries. The approvals, the first since the government gave control of settlements in occupied territory to right-wing Minister Bezalel Smotrich last week. The United States has condemned the move, saying it's an impediment to peace with the Palestinians. Now, joint diplomatic intervention from Australia, Canada and the UK. In a statement, the country's foreign ministers say they are gravely concerned by the move and the fast-tracking of settlement approvals. We call on the government of Israel to reverse these decisions. We unequivocally condemn all forms of terrorism and violence against civilians, including the terrorist attack on June 20 in Ely targeting Israeli civilians. We also condemn the reprehensible and ongoing settler violence targeting Palestinians.
Peaceful resolution in the Middle East between Israelis and Palestinians requires a settlement between the Israeli and Palestinian leadership, but we also understand that settlements in Palestinian territories make that more difficult.
The Executive Council of Australian Jewry responding, saying it is critical to understand that a Jewish civilian presence in the disputed territories has never been the cause of the conflict. It is a symptom of it. This conflict will endure until the Palestinians can come to terms with Israel's legitimacy and permanence. The Israeli government has condemned all settler violence and has long maintained it is ready to resume negotiations to finally end this needless conflict. The ball is in the court of the Palestinians. But the joint statement has been welcomed by Palestinian support groups.
It's very important that the world steps up. What we've seen now is close to 750,000 Israelis who live in what's supposed to be Palestine, rendering a two-state solution dead.
And from some within the Jewish community, saying the government's far-right policies are proving deeply unpopular in the country itself.
They're not just unpopular, but they're actually seeing an Israeli populace that's taking to the streets in record numbers. This weekend would have been the 26th week of protests. You can't really fathom that level of protest.
Settlement expansion is one of the most contentious issues in the region. Many countries deem the West Bank to be occupied territory, while Israel considers it to be disputed territory. Gareth Borum, SBS World News.